Luffy, the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates and the man that will be the future Pirate King, versus Saitama, the hero for fun and the One Punch Man. This matchup isn't close and I'm going to explain why. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And real quick, before the video gets started, I reached 800 subscribers. Let's go! And with that being said, let's get into the video. To start off with Luffy, there are some different ways that you could scale him. For one, you could scale him off of statements made about Whitebeard and his Devil Fruit, which stated that the Gura Gura no Mi is so powerful that not only could it tilt the entire planet, but it could also destroy it as well. Sengoku even stated during Marineford that Whitebeard has the power to destroy the world, and even in the Ace novels it was also stated that Whitebeard with his Devil Fruit can destroy the planet, alongside his Viva card also stating and backing this up as well. This means that Luffy, who should currently scale above the old Whitebeard that we saw at Marineford with his fruit, should be at the low-end multi-continental or at the high-end planetary in terms of AP. The One Piece world is also said and shown to be many times bigger than our real world. If you'd like to take this into consideration, this makes the verse at least large planetary, so the low ball for Luffy scaling is multi-continental, the mid ball planetary if you want to scale Luffy off of old Whitebeard statements, and large planetary for the high ball if you want to use the fact that the One Piece world is much larger than our own, and statements for it, like for example Alabasta being said to be around 50 kilometers in terms of just like sheer size for like the river, and other islands possibly being higher. If you don't believe Luffy currently though is stronger than old Whitebeard, he was able to defeat Kaido, someone who is not only relative to old Whitebeard but should actually be stronger, especially due to Haki Bloom. This is something that is stated to happen when you're being pushed in battle, and although he was getting fatigued and was getting injured, was even able to keep up with and damage Gear 5 Luffy, Gear 5 being stated to have surpassed Kaido in strength, and this being supported since Kaido and Luffy's final clash was a Haki clash, and Luffy ended up winning and punching Kaido all the way down to a volcano. And Kaido actually putting a weaker Luffy than Gear 5 within the list of people he thinks capable of fighting against him. Not to mention that Kaido says how Devil Fruit powers by themselves aren't enough to conquer the seas, and Haki transcends all, which as I just said previously, Luffy won the Haki clash against Kaido, who should be stronger than old Whitebeard during Marineford during the 2-year pre-time skip. And now to talk about Luffy's speed, you can scale him off of Kizaru and the Pacifistas. For Kizaru, he has been stated to be light itself, and is able to move and attack at the speed of light, and the Pacifistas are also shown and stated to have Kizaru's lasers, and Luffy during the pre and post time skip is able to react to and dodge these lasers. This should put Luffy at the speed of light, and him getting stronger and faster throughout the series, alongside him having Gear 2 and Gear 4, with both increasing his speed substantially, should put Luffy at least around maybe FTL in terms of speed. And Luffy also has access to every known type of Haki. He has access to Armament Haki, which can both be used as armor to defend himself against attacks, and can strengthen his own attacks as well. Observation Haki, which heightens all of the senses, and Conqueror's Haki, which if someone is weaker than him, will fall unconscious at his willpower. Luffy also has access to Advanced Armament Haki, which can attack the opponent from the inside out, allowing Luffy to have durability negation, Advanced Observation Haki, which allows Luffy to see into the future and predict his opponent's movements and attacks, and Advanced Conqueror's Haki, which can not only coat the user and their attacks with it, can also attack the opponent without actually making physical contact with them. So now that I've gone over Luffy scaling, I'll go over the One Punch Man, Saitama. Before I get into his scaling, I just want to let you all know that Saitama one-punching people is a gag. This means that if Saitama were to fight Luffy, since Luffy isn't within the One Punch Man verse, Luffy isn't liable to be getting one-shotted by Saitama, and isn't bounded by the narrative of Saitama one-punching his opponents. Anyways, now that I've talked about that, let's get into his feats. If we use statements for Boros, you can scale him from around at the bare minimum multi-continental to planetary, with statements of him saying how he'll blow away the Earth's surface. And you can scale him as planetary due to him being stated to have so much energy that he can blast away entire planets. You can also upscale Boros to star level, because there is a statement that states Boros has enough power to obliterate a star, and even if you don't believe Boros himself is star level, Saitama definitely is, because when him and Cosmic Garo did their serious punches and clashed against each other, the strength behind the punches were so strong that they were able to either seemingly move a large number of stars from their original positions or completely destroy them, which, depending on whatever you want to go with, should make them star level. And Saitama was also able to do this to Jupiter, and Jupiter is many times bigger than the Earth itself. So you can argue Saitama being around large planetary at the low end to star level at the high end, depending on how you interpret the statements, and him and Garo either moving or destroying a large number of stars in space. And in terms of speed, Saitama is stated and shown to be faster than Flashy Flash, who is not only the fastest S-rank hero, but is also able to move at light speed. Flashy Flash, Platinum Sperm, and Monster Garo were moving so fast that they created extremely dense light beams in the sky, and they did this in 13 microseconds, which should be an FTL feat. And not only is Saitama casually faster than Flashy Flash, he also gained a constant amp and kept growing in both power and speed alongside Cosmic Garo, which should make him MFTL for his speed. And for those that don't know, Flashy Flash was actually nerfed when he was doing battle with Cosmic Garo and Platinum Sperm because he didn't have his sword, meaning that he wasn't really at his full capabilities when performing the feat. And as I said, Saitama already is just casually faster than him, so you can use that if you want to. If you aren't convinced by this, Saitama was able to perform a similar feat but better, since he was moving around with such speed that he was making light rays around the entire planet of Jupiter, which, as I told you all, is much bigger than the Earth itself. So if you want to, you could say that this feat is probably MFTO+. And in terms of abilities, Saitama doesn't really have much abilities. He just punches his opponents really hard, and that's about it. But Saitama is able to exponentially grow at a pretty fast rate during battle, and Goro does note that Saitama is infinitely strong. Depending on how you interpret infinite, Saitama's potential is either actually limitless and has no bounds, or it is just so vast to a point where it can't be measured. I'll leave this to you all down below in the comments. And with all this being said, who would win if Luffy and Saitama were to fight? As I said previously, Luffy can scale around large planetary for his AP, and is around FTL in terms of speed. And Saitama is around star level for his AP, and MFTL, possibly arguably MFTL plus in terms of speed, but I'll just go with MFTL for the safer side, which should mean that Saitama should be both stronger and faster than Luffy, and I'll explain why. Because Saitama is stronger and faster, Luffy wouldn't be able to use advanced observation or Conqueror's Haki, because Saitama is just too fast, and Luffy wouldn't be able to keep up with Saitama's speed. And remember, in One Piece it's been shown that even if you can use advanced observation Haki, if you can't actually react, you can still see the future, but you just wouldn't be able to react since you aren't fast enough. And even if you want to argue Luffy being able to Duraneg Saitama, once Saitama finds out that he's being attacked from the inside of his body, he just get more serious and beat Luffy faster, which he can do since he would already be faster normally. And if you want to argue Gear 5 Luffy having Toon Force or reality manipulation or anything like that, this really just shouldn't be an issue, because as I said, Saitama would just start growing rapidly in strength and speed, and would just outpace and defeat Luffy, just like he did against Cosmic Garo. Don't get me wrong though, Luffy is strong in his own right, and this battle at first glance does seem a lot closer than you think, but when you actually get into like the specific details and how each of the characters' feats are and how they scale, Saitama just outclasses Luffy really, really badly. Luffy currently just doesn't have enough showings to put him over Saitama, and I hope you all can understand that. But if you disagree or want to share your thoughts and opinions, comment down below and leave a like, subscribe, comment if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.